Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Look at XLM's returns, 71% in just 5 days. That's not just impressive, it's a statement. And before we dive into the technicals, I just want to start by congratulating those of you who held strong. If you've been riding this XLM train throughout its ups and downs, give yourself a pat on the back. You stuck it out. You had conviction. And right now, that conviction is paying off big time. But here's the important part. I genuinely don't think this move is over. Not even close. In fact, we may just be getting started. So I want to break down exactly what I'm seeing in the charts and why I believe XLM falls into a very elite group of altcoins right now. Coins that are ready to not just rally, but to outperform in a massive way. Yes, while the entire market is turning green, there's a small, powerful pocket of altcoins that are showing strength well beyond the average. This is not just any random pump. This is calculated strength backed by historical setups, bullish trend patterns, and solid technical indicators. But before we dive deeper, quick heads up. We'll be hosting another live stream today, and yes, I will be announcing the winners of the $2,000 giveaway during that stream. But here's the good news. You can still participate. Just hit the link in the description below to BitUnix, sign up for an account, and deposit $50. That's it. You'll be automatically entered. Now back to the star of the show, XLM. We're talking about a 70+% rally in just 5 days. And for those of you tracking the coin closely, if you had set up alerts, maybe even followed our dashboard, you'd have gotten a bullish signal just as the 4-hour trend flipped. That alert wasn't just noise, it was real, actionable data. From that signal, XLM is already up 68%. That's not a coincidence. That's the power of riding a well-established trend. Just look at that 4-hour chart. It's absolutely insane. The trend is clean. The momentum is intact. The bulls are fully in control right now. However, we do need to exercise some caution. Volatility indicators are now flashing red. What does that mean? Well, when I see red volatility, I often begin to anticipate short-term pullbacks. But, and this is key, you never look at volatility in isolation. You combine it with price action and resistance levels. So what are we watching for? Ideally, if we're seeing red volatility, we want to pair that with price approaching resistance. That's when you stay cautious. But even if a pullback does happen, let me make one thing clear. This is still a bullish trend. And in bullish trends, pullbacks are just opportunities. They are gifts, not warnings. Now, let's take a step back and look at the macro. What's really driving XLM's recent performance? The answer lies in Bitcoin dominance. This is a critical metric. Since November 2022, Bitcoin dominance has been in an uptrend. Translation: for most of the past year and a half, simply holding Bitcoin was a better trade than holding most altcoins. Most altcoins underperformed against BTC during this time. But, and it's a big but, there are a few select coins that didn't underperform. In fact, they outperformed. These are what I call the special basket of altcoins. And yes, XLM is right there among them. Think about this. There are thousands of altcoins out there, but if you filter out all the BTC pairings and look for altcoins that are actually outperforming Bitcoin on long trends, you're left with just one page. That's right. From thousands, only a handful are making the cut. And XLM is on that elite list. That's huge. It tells us that XLM isn't just following Bitcoin's rally, it's leading the charge. It's not just tagging along, it's sprinting ahead. XLM has outperformed Bitcoin by 65%. That's real strength. That's what institutional investors and smart money look for. Not coins riding coattails, but ones carving their own path. And the data is suggesting this momentum is far from done. Take a look at this tweet from Swissblock. What does it take for altcoin season to become a reality? They broke it down into 3 phases. Phase 1 is capitulation, marked in red. Phase 2 is a sharp, unsustainable bounce, in blue. And Phase 3, that's the real capital rotation into altcoins, supported by a strong and steady Bitcoin. And if you look back to November's rally, that pattern played out perfectly. XLM pumped 469% during that cycle. XRP followed suit. But the important part, it happened in parallel with a strong Bitcoin. Because let's not forget, Bitcoin is the oxygen for this ecosystem. Without it, nothing lasts. During that November rally, Bitcoin's strength also peaked. That's what fueled the altcoin explosion. And today, we're seeing the early signs again. Bitcoin's strength is increasing, but it hasn't peaked yet. The indicator hasn't even approached its previous highs. That tells me we're in the early innings. The groundwork for another altcoin supercycle is being laid right now. And guess who's leading that charge again? XLM. The structure on the chart is setting up for the biggest breakout in its entire history. Let me say that again, the biggest breakout in XLM's history. Before I break down the technicals, just a quick note. There's free money on the table right now. BitUnix is running a deposit bonus campaign. Deposit $2,000 and they'll give you $400 in free trading credits. Use that to test trade setups without risking your own capital. Link is in the description. Now back to the charts. If you look at XLM's macro structure, we can see a massive ascending triangle forming across multiple cycles. This isn't just any formation. This is a multi-year setup. It includes resistance rejections from 2018, 2021, and most recently the 2024 November rally, and all of them rejected at the same key level, 63 cents. That's our line in the sand. Clearing 63 cents isn't just another breakout. It's the breakout, the one that changes the game. Because when we take the measured move of that ascending triangle and project it on a breakout above 63 cents, we're talking about a target of $17. Yes, you heard that right, $17 per token. From current levels, that's a mind-blowing 3,079% rally potential. Now, I know what you're thinking. It's already up 70%. Did I miss it? And the answer is no, but you do need to be smart about your entry. You don't want to FOMO into a parabolic move. You want to wait for confirmation. At Mango, we use the Mango Dynamic Indicator, which now includes a powerful new feature called the Position Manager. This gives us clear entry and exit signals based on historical support and resistance. Throughout XLM's history, it has respected the THAF dynamic on the weekly time frame beautifully. Each time it broke above it and reclaimed that zone as support, we saw sustained bullish momentum. And right now, we've reclaimed that dynamic zone again. However, the Position Manager is flashing a warning. XLM is currently in the overbought zone. This means you're above the ideal bidding zone, and managing a new position here would be high risk. It doesn't mean the rally is over. It just means you need to wait for a safer entry. Where is that safe entry? The start of the bidding zone is around 36 cents. That's where we historically find support during pullbacks, and it aligns perfectly with the dynamic. That's where smart money gets in. That's where risk to reward is heavily skewed in your favor. This setup reminds me of 2018. XLM had broken below the dynamic, tested it as resistance, and then flipped it into support. That was the start of a massive rally. A similar setup is happening right now, and if history repeats or even rhymes, we could be in for another huge move. Nothing in this video is financial advice. I'm not your financial advisor. I'm just some guy on the internet sharing ideas, technicals, and market opinions. Do your own research. Don't risk money you can't afford to lose. And remember, the market doesn't care about your feelings. It only respects your strategy. Stay sharp out there. So here's the playbook. Don't FOMO. Wait for the pullback. Watch for 36 cents. Watch the dynamic. Let the Position Manager guide you. And remember, the best trades are the easiest to manage. You don't need to chase candles. You need to position smartly. As we wrap this up, let me remind you, this is not financial advice. I'm not your financial advisor. I'm just sharing what I see in the charts and how I'm planning to approach it. Make sure you do your own research before making any decisions. If you found value in this video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and drop your thoughts in the comments below. Are you in XLM? Waiting for the pullback? Let me know. Catch you on the live stream later today. And don't forget to check out BitUnix for your chance to win part of that $2,000 giveaway and claim your $400 bonus. Stay safe, trade smart, and as always, Mango out. Let us know in the comments below. I really want to hear your take. Was this video helpful? Smash that like button. Don't forget to subscribe for more altcoin breakdowns and crypto market deep dives. And if you think someone else needs to see this opportunity, go ahead and share it. Thanks for watching, and until next time, stay smart, stay skeptical, and stay invested in narratives that actually make sense.